What is going on, team? Welcome back to another video. Today's a pretty freaking special one because we are preparing the M50 B30 Turbo E36 for drifting, which is something I thought I wouldn't be doing for at least another couple of months. However, because we've been invited to a very secret research and development session this Friday, and I'm just super pumped, really. As you guys know, we're in hard lockdown here in Melbourne. That means you can't really do anything 5 kilometers or more away from your house. You can only leave home for 4 reasons. I forgot what the reasons are, I should probably know them, but it's something to do with getting food and other things. However, because this is for research and development purposes, we have permits to go drifting at a facility, which is really, really cool. There's 4 of us driving, and it's just gonna be, a very, very fun time. In saying that, it was a bit unexpected, and therefore the E36 does have a bunch of things that I wanna go over and fix up before we go out and drift. Alrighty, so the things that we have to get done. As you can see, these front flares are all cracked up and zip tied and cable tied. I have new flares to go on, so we'll be wrapping those, throwing those on. I've also just got a bunch of stuff to bolt up properly, make sure this indicators are all nice and fitted properly. We have a new hydraulic handbrake master cylinder to go in to replace the one that we bent at Ritsuri and fixed really badly with an arc welder. It still works, but I want to put a new one in. We also have fresh oils for the engine and the gearbox. Because we haven't driven it in a while, I really want to make sure that this thing stays healthy. So even though the engine oil was brand new last track day when we did it, I'm still going to replace it. And also the gearbox oil I just want to do because it's a ZF, they're worth a bit of money and I want to make sure that it stays good. This engine is almost a year old now and done a bunch of track days and it's still running super strong and loving life. Probably because we're only running 10 PSI through it and running about 300 kilowatt, which is pretty low for a 3 litre 6-cylinder turbo motor. So that's probably plays a little bit into why it's still alive, but I'm freaking stoked on the thing. And of course we need to put it up on the hoist and just do a full bolt check on it, make sure that it's all good. It's definitely lifted my spirits that we are actually going drifting. I cannot wait, but for now let's get into this thing and actually get these jobs ticked off the list. And just like that, we have a nice, freshly wrapped flare. Look at that, mate. Alrighty, so now what we do is go ahead and check that everything is nice and tight. With all the arms, the suspension, straight away I reached up and I found this locking collar is loose. So that is not what you want, because when you're turning, the suspension ride height can change if that's not locked. So we're going to tighten that up. I'll go ahead, hit that time lapse, make sure that everything's all good. Give you guys a quick view of the rear end here. Solid subframe bushes, solid diff bush up the front here with a drilled out bigger diff bolt with a 12.9 grade bolt as well, so that can't snap. You can see that that is loose, so instantly we've found something we need to tighten up, and this is why we do all of the checks on the car. Good morning. Today is a very exciting day. The sun is rising behind me. It's I think about 6 a.m. in the morning. We have been invited to go testing for a very exciting drift product called Battleist. I'll explain a little bit more to you guys about that later. It is only a skid pan day at Winton, but at the moment that is so much better than nothing. So much better than sitting at home. And if we can do any type of drifting anywhere, then I feel like that's a massive win. So I am super excited about that. But first things first, we're on our way to pick up Dan. So to have a little bit of support for the day. He's also doing a bunch of filming as well. So it's gonna be a really freaking exciting day.
Yeah, mate.
Hello, Dan. Let's get a lovely shot of the sunrise behind us. Woo! Melbourne, you are pretty. So because of the stage 4 lockdowns and stuff, these are all the crazy things we have to have printed just so that we can get across what they call the ring of steel that's surrounding the city that we have to kind of exit out of. And that's going to be pretty much our first hurdle that we're going to have to cross today. But first, how are you, Dan?
Fabulous.
Welcome to the party. So that's going to be the first hurdle we have to cross, getting through this ring of steel, which is basically the police surrounding Melbourne City, and you have to give them all the right documents to get through. Everything we're doing is legal and certified and got all the right permits and stuff, but that doesn't mean to say that we are, you know, everything's going to work out. So first things first, let's see if we get through the ring of steel. You.
Let's go.
Let's go. Alrighty, so we're not actually going through a checkpoint because our maps took us around the checkpoint, which is super weird. Basically, the checkpoint was on the freeway. The map said, hey, that's really slow to go through the checkpoint. It's 25 minutes faster to go this other way. So we went, and it literally just took us around the checkpoint, which was like an extra 3 minutes drive, and that was it. So that's super strange. You know, we have all the permits we needed and stuff, but either way, we're on our way to Winton to go drifting, so that's freaking awesome. Are you excited, Dan?
Super excited.
I'm just excited to be out of the house, which is freaking sick, so let's go drifting, and hopefully the E36 works as it should. Yeah. Heading out, making sure the car's all good before we install the Battleist unit. Still grippy, eh? Yeah. Really great. Alrighty, so we went out for the first run. The car still has a wee break up after a couple of laps, so we will chuck some new spark plugs in it. That should hopefully solve the issue because that's the only thing we haven't changed. But now, the reason that we have come out here today, and it is for this. So this is the Battleist product. It's called Driftbit. And basically what it does is, let's open it up. Woo! Fancy. Here's the data logger. A couple of antennas. 1, 2, and then the USB stuff to power it up and plug it into your car. But it's probably easier if the founder explains the Driftbit to you than me trying to explain it with my terrible English. So we have Mike here with us, who is the founder of Driftbit. to tell us about it. So tell us about Driftbit.
So Driftbit is a 3-year-long project that's finally come to fruition. We've been developing the device there for 3 years, and it's a fitness tracker but for your drift car. So you pop this guy in your drift car, 2 antennas, give it some power, and as you drive it logs your drift data, your speed, your angle, your line. And the cool thing is we built a really cool app, and you can compare your driving to your friend's driving, or to a pro driver, or to anyone. So you can go out, drive, see where you're transitioning, where other people are transitioning, where you're slow, where you're fast, and it's a really good analytical platform to improve your driving.
Insane. So it's like a spotter.
Yeah, like a digital spotter. So
good.
A digital spotter that doesn't forget where you've gone.
Yeah.
A digital spotter that can tell you exactly what you've been doing, not guesswork.
Yeah, and you can see how you develop literally from the start of the day to the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly right. So yeah, you can tweak your setup, see what works, see what doesn't work, and you can see where you're faster and what setups make you slow between the corners. And yeah, it's just it's a unbiased analytical platform that gives you all the information you need to drive better.
And that is why I got him to explain it, not me. I could not have said any of that stuff. So literally just tuck these on the roof?
Yeah, so pop this guy in your car, go driving, it logs your data, you come out, you connect it to your app, and it just tells you how you do it.
That's so good. Awesome, so I'm going to learn today how bad I am at driving. I'm excited. We're going to install this right now. Awesome. So we're literally just going to pop it on the roof and then run the cables through the sunroof. This is Cliff's run. That is ridiculous. Alright, so the Driftbit's installed. Obviously I've just thrown it in quickly, but it was really easy to install. Literally plug the 2 antennas in here, plug the power in, which is running from my cigarette lighter, just like that. Obviously if it was permanently in here, which I probably will end up doing, we'll run it super nicely. Cable ties through these nice slots to the cage, and we're literally good to go. Bluetooth, as you can see, it's blue, so it's on. We've synced it to our app, and now all I have to do is every time I go over 15 kilometers an hour, it automatically starts logging a session. So I'm gonna go quickly, I'm gonna test the car, make sure that the spark plugs fixed our missing issue, and then we're good to drift for the rest of the afternoon, which I'm freaking pumped about. So yeah, let's do it. Very has the angle. Alrighty, so that felt really good. Unfortunately, as you guys saw or probably heard, after 2 solid laps it just kind of starts breaking up. So you let it here, cool it down, take it back out. So it could be crank position sensor or crank angle sensor, whatever it is, crank sensor on this thing, or whatever, but we can still go and drive. We just have to let it chill for a little bit and then drive again. So what we've done with the runs that I just did is we created a segment in the app. We're all running the app here, so myself, Cliff in this BRZ turbo thing, Mike, the owner of Battleist in the Battleist car, Jeremy in the R32 RB25 DT Skyline. Now that the segment is created based on the line that I just put down, we can go ahead and everyone can basically battle.
You didn't drift that one, here's the one that you drifted.
There we go, max angle 48 degrees. Ah, yep, there's me driving. Yeah.
And yeah, when we get, so we can compare your one to yourself. These are your two.
Oh, we can see 2 different angles. Although that one I was driving straight to warm the car up. So
yeah.
I drove the layout. You! How's your bun? breaking up again.
Yeah.
You can drive through it though.
I think so.
So it's been a pretty rad day so far. Yeah, we've been doing a lot of driving. The time's actually flown by. There's only an hour of driving left to do. Unfortunately, my car's still playing up. Cannot discover the missing issue. It's ridiculous. We've literally changed everything on the engine now, other than the crank sensor, which it could be, but it'll be sweet and then it'll just go dead, start missing. And if you turn it off and turn it back on, if you cycle the ECU, it'll come right for a second, and then if you give it some crap, it'll start messing again. A bit of a bummer, but at the same time we keep just coming in, cooling the car down, or letting it sit for 5 minutes, taking it back out, and you can shred tyres again. So it's not massively an issue, but yeah, I don't know how much driving we've captured today, hopefully a little bit, but I'm gonna go out and do another bunch of driving for the last hour. This data tracker is insane. My fastest session so far, what's my best session? Last session I did 59, I had 59 degrees max angle and 73 degrees, and 73 miles per hour top speed, which is pretty good on a skid pan like this. I'm gonna go out really hoping to get some tandem runs in with Cliff before we finish. So I'm probably gonna go out with him for the next little while. fixed it. It was, and it loved it, but the tyres are holy shit shot. Alrighty team, last session. Let's make it a good one. We think we fixed the problem. We think.
We can only hope.
Good sound, eh? Yeah. And just like that, we are all packed up and we're heading out. Alrighty guys, we are on the way home after an absolutely epic day really. All things considered, the car held up really well. Obviously we chased that misfire issue, but the really good thing from today is that we got the misfire issue sorted. And what it turned out to be was the dwell settings for our coil packs was set too high. So it basically meant they were getting overrun after a couple of laps, which makes a lot of sense, and that's why we were having the issue. I did a bit of research and then I turned the dwell down to what it should have been. Boom, instantly no issues. Ended up popping that or baking that set of tires, and then I was a bit of a rookie, decided to put the semi slicks on, and then first clutch kick with the semi slicks, and we broke an axle. Haven't broken an axle in a long time thanks to the 6 shop UK axle spaces I have on the rear, but it is what it is. I was being pretty aggressive out there, I guess. Yeah, so it's all good, but new clutch held up well, car drove onto the trailer, no worries. That Battleist software slash hardware is freaking amazing. I don't know enough about life to really get into the in-depth specifics, but if you're a drifter and you want to learn more about your driving and how you can improve, that software is pretty invaluable. This is not a sponsored ad or anything like that, it's just we just went out to check it out and help them out with some testing, and it was freaking awesome. So yeah, amazing. Car's rad. Do you have a good day, Dan?
100%.
I do all the talk. I talk a lot and he doesn't get to talk much. But massive shout out to Dan here for coming out and helping out. It's so good having people around after freaking so long being in lockdown and not being allowed to see people. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, all of the drone footage and all the shots and everything. Massive shout out to Aaron for his amazing drone skills. Massive shout out to Michael and all the Battleist crew for having us. Massive shout out to Dan for filming a whole bunch of stuff as well. Thank you to you guys for supporting the channel. I hope you enjoyed seeing some drifting back on it, which is rad. Now we're going straight back into the 13B E36 Ute videos. But yeah, thank you guys. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on Instagram at It's Mike Lake, at Daniel Leone, or at Daniel1, depending on how you want to read it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!